We are all handed the exact same set of instructions at birth. Go to school, get a job, put your head down, and save as aggressively as possible for a distant, nebulous future called retirement. But there is a glaring flaw in that math. You spend decades meticulously building a massive nest egg, finally reaching the finish line, only to realize that a large bank account does not come with the physical energy required to actually use it. We willingly trade our youthful energy and our finite time in exchange for dollars. Yet, when we finally have the dollars, we discover that no amount of money can purchase a sudden return of our youth, or rewind the clock to buy back lost time. Building a life strategy strictly around maximizing a financial balance sheet is a mathematical error. Money functions as a tool for experience, yet the default script prioritizes the accumulation of the tool itself over the results it's meant to produce. Hoarding cash indefinitely without a strategy for its use creates a specific outcome. You die as the wealthiest person in the cemetery, leaving behind funds that never served their purpose. This diagram shows the breakdown of human capacity across a lifespan. A fully realized life requires 3 separate resources firing at the exact same time: time, health, and money. If you look at your 20s, the imbalance is obvious. You have an abundance of free time, and your physical health is at its absolute peak, but your financial gauge is essentially empty. Fast forward, and you enter your 40s. Now you've climbed the career ladder. The money meter starts to fill up, but between mortgages, children, and demanding work hours, your free time completely evaporates. Finally, you hit traditional retirement age. Your schedule clears up and your net worth hits its lifetime peak, but the health meter plummets. You suddenly lack the physical durability required for rigorous travel or adventure. The solution to this shifting landscape is to divide your life into time buckets, specific decades where certain activities naturally align with the resources you actually have available. Certain experiences have a hard biological expiry date. Backpacking across South America or climbing a mountain requires peak physical health, meaning those activities belong specifically in the 20 to 30 time bucket, regardless of your financial constraints at the time. True optimization requires looking ahead and aggressively scheduling your goals to match the exact phase of life where you possess the necessary mix of time, health, and money to actually accomplish them. Of course, writing a large check for a trip in your 20s feels counterintuitive. The prevailing logic tells you that spending early is reckless, and that every dollar spent now is robbing your future self of compound interest. This graph charts an entirely different kind of return. The moment you pay for an event, you initiate what is called a memory dividend. You are acquiring an experiential asset. You experience the joy of the actual trip just once. But for the rest of your life, recalling the event, looking at the photos, and telling the stories to your friends generates a continuous stream of emotional value that eventually eclipses the initial price tag. The mechanics are identical to compound interest in a bank account. The earlier you acquire the memory, the more decades it sits in your mind, compounding in value and enriching your daily life. If you delay that trip until you are 65, you severely truncate the timeline. You only get 10 or 20 years to draw down on that memory dividend, mathematically wasting its potential yield. Hoarding every spare cent artificially caps the return you get out of being alive. Strategically purchasing experiences early ensures you maximize your overall fulfillment. This leads to the logical endpoint of this entire equation. The ultimate goal of personal finance should be to arrive at the end of your life having spent exactly everything. The objective is to die with zero. This concept involves utilizing your money so precisely across the span of your life that you leave no unspent potential on the table. The immediate objection here is family. The default assumption is that you must leave a massive pile of unspent cash behind as an inheritance for your children. This diagram maps the structural problem with traditional inheritance. By the time you pass away, your children are typically in their late 50s or 60s. They have already moved past their most expensive life hurdles, and their own wealth gauge is largely full. If the goal is to maximize the utility of those dollars, the optimal move is giving them that capital in their 20s or 30s, stepping in to solve their financial deficit exactly when they are buying a house or starting a family. Money acts as a battery, a reservoir of stored energy designed to be discharged and converted into lived experience. Take a hard look at your own timeline. You have to ask yourself if you are actually living right now, or if you are perpetually preparing for a future that you won't have the physical capacity to enjoy. The final measure of an optimized life is the volume of memories you have successfully accumulated.